Hello, it's your boy Davidoff. So I go to Cineworld, and over there they have a membership which I pay for, and you get unlimited movies for a fixed price, which is pretty good. And part of the membership is that you get early screenings. It depends like what they tell you, but sometimes they tell you what it is. Like Shazam, they showed 2 weeks early here. They're showing Jumanji early here. There's another thing they're showing early here as well. There's a few things that they show early and they tell you what it is. But sometimes they do a thing called secret screening, and that's what I got today. So you buy a ticket and you don't know what it is. You don't know what the movie is. You have no idea. You just buy a ticket blindly and you go into the screen and you don't find out what it is until the movie starts. So it's like that. It's kind of cool. It's like a mystery. But if it's something you don't like, then obviously you can just walk out anyway because it's free. But still, like, it's kind of cool. Like, you don't know what you're seeing, and then you see what it is, and if it's something that you like, then it's a good experience because you don't expect it. It surprises you. Surprises are good, and sometimes these movies are a nice surprise. And yeah, today was one of those things. So usually for these unlimited screenings, they show like a month early or 2 weeks early, sometimes 2 months early. Sometimes there's movies that are out in America and they show it in England a month earlier than, because in England, like in the UK, some movies come out like a month later than the US or 2 months later than the US. Sometimes in the UK, Cineworld show it at the same time as Americans as an early screening. And this was today. This was a secret screening, and it turned out to be Queen and Slim, which is not out in the UK till January 31st. At these early screenings, they sometimes do sometimes give you some stuff. So they gave me a bar of Galaxy, and it was dark chocolates, so I don't want it. I don't like dark chocolates. I gave it to my mom because I don't want it. They gave me a Frozen poster. I'm not into Frozen. They gave me Mary Poppins cup and some thingies. I don't know what they were, but they gave me this as well. Joker poster. Now that is cool. I went to the cinema just not knowing what it was. I was kind of wanting 1917. 1917 is a war movie that comes out in January. I'm really looking forward to it, and I thought it would be that, but it's not, it's this. But Queen and Slim for me was not a bad choice, considering I saw Jeremy Jahns review it today. Like literally this morning I woke up and saw a Jeremy Jahns video reviewing this movie. It's like that is so random. You see his review, I saw his review like to see what it was about. I'm like, what's this movie? I'm gonna click on his review, see what it's about, and I thought, oh, interesting. Then I go to the cinema for a secret screening, not knowing what the movie was, and that's what the movie was. It's kind of weird. There's some weird things happen sometimes. Like if I didn't see that video, I would have gone in and think, what on earth is Queen and Slim? And people like that in my cinema. Like people are like, what's this? But yeah, no one left actually. Everyone stayed. And this is a very serious movie. There's a bit of comedy in it. We'll get to that later. But it's a very serious movie. It's about police brutality, but not in the way you think. Basically, two people on a date. They're on a first date, and their personalities are a little bit different. I guess the guy is a bit more chilled, and she's a lot more serious. She's a lawyer as well. Not too many spoilers, by the way, but they're on a first date. All right, they're not that compatible, but they sort of get along, and they're having a first date like a first date would go. Not exactly the worst sort of date, but not exactly the greatest. And it's basically a case of date gone wrong. So they're on their way back, on their way somewhere, and they get stopped by a cop. And this cop is one of those cops, one of those aggressive cops that wants to shoot you. And eventually things get out of control, and in self-defense, the guy kills the cop. And this whole movie is about them going on the run together. So they're on this date, and it goes very, very wrong to the point where a police officer is killed because of misunderstandings and other things as well. And obviously they're on the run throughout this movie, and it's about them trying to get away, really. And it was pretty good. It was very serious, very heartbreaking at times, emotional, also quite funny. What I mean by that is there are characters that they meet along the way, some interesting characters. There's one point where there's a father and a son, and they're hilarious. The things they say are just really funny, like had everyone laughing. There was another guy as well that was really funny. Just the certain things that he said. They just, obviously they got to get help along the way. They can't just like run together. They got to get help. And from the people that help them, some of them are really funny. Some of the things they say are just hilarious. So I think that like it kind of adds a bit of humor to the side, a bit of a lighter side, because it's a very dark, serious, emotional movie. And sometimes you need those types of scenes, you know. Sometimes movies so serious, sometimes you need a bit of a laugh, a bit of a break sometimes. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting because it's the type of movie where people are on the run. They commit a crime, they're on the run from the cops. Those are interesting movies. And this one is an added element because it's about brutality, it's about race, and it's a lot more serious and realistic to real life. It wasn't as thrilling as I thought it might be, but it was interesting, it was serious, and you get to see their journey. One problem I have though is what these characters do sometimes. These two characters, they're both smart, but sometimes they do things and you're just like, really? And what I mean by that is they sometimes waste time. They sometimes are doing things that they shouldn't be doing instead of actually running. And sometimes it slows them down, and it kind of frustrates me sometimes. Obviously in this type of movie you gotta like have some suspense, but it still kind of frustrates me, certain decisions that the characters took. But it's kind of realistic though, because I kind of think some people would actually do that. So to be fair, I can give some credit for that. But yeah, I was kind of thinking like, how's this gonna end? Because there's a few ways you can end a movie like this, and the way it did end, it was rather crazy. I think it's a pretty good movie, and I think it's pretty well made. So for me, it's a 7.5 out of 10. Worth a watch, I think. It's probably out in the US, and it comes out in the UK end of January. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but if it's out in your cinema, then maybe check it out. It might be worth it. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, and see ya.